and if you look, the coil has exploded.
Oh yeah, it is quite swollen.
That's no good. I got this temporarily wired in there.
So we don't have to crank with the big extension no more?
No, I don't think so. I think we're done with that. Shut up!
We got Chop Dog.
What are you doing, hooligans?
Hey, yeah. I know, right? Hi, bubs.
I don't like you guys are my dogs or anything.
Yeah, right. Oh, now you remember.
I just put the valve covers over top just to keep oil from splashing around everywhere, but they're not really bolted down. And the gaskets had about 9 inches of RTV on them.
Yeah, that's true. That and all that juice that we put in it. Let that smell. That's the Studebaker race fuel, right? Oh, I didn't know it was electric. Ooh. That's the
Coil.
That's the coil.
We got our hot wired right now.
Oh, you got the Lone Wolf? Nice.
Lone Wolf. What is this, Vice Grip Garage?
Yeah. We got a remote.
Now, my mom always told me that miracles happen every day. Some people don't think so, but they do.
Dude, what? That's insane.
We got a runner!
Oh yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
It runs.
That's pretty freaking amazing. I hear leakage.
It's coming out of the valve covers.
Oh yeah, because they just barely put on there.
Sit there for a little.
That's okay, she's just sweating horsepower, that's all that is. Oh yeah, it's hazy up in the back.
Did it blow anything out? Oh yeah, she blew some stuff out of there.
There's some chunks. So was that exhaust crimped? Is that what we had to kind of...
Yeah, I cut it off.
You did cut it off, good. Gotta put some glass packs on that thing or what?
No, the exhaust is on it now, supposed to be this thing. She's got oil pressure.
Yes.
I do have a gauge hooked up in there, but I didn't film it.
Dude, that thing, it sounds pretty good.
Sounds alright, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, I did a little decoding. It's serial numbers right here. It's P42813, so it's out of a 1957 Studebaker President. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
That's pretty good. Those were like weren't that like the highest class? I mean, it sounds like it.
it's 289. Same engine that would have come in this originally, I think. I got new fuel line coming, so new fuel filters. So got another electric pump coming for it. So I'll go ahead and axe all that stuff underneath the truck and blow all the hard lines out, make sure they look okay. And then yeah, we'll replace all the soft line stuff here and filters, and we'll see if the carburetor is gonna work. I don't know. I have a rebuild kit coming for it just in case it doesn't, but I think this thing's only like 400 CFM, so it's really small 4-barrel, so putting like a 625 on it would be probably too much gas for it. So I think Holly still makes a 390 4-barrel, small 4-barrel, but it's like $800.
Could we do like an electric, I mean, fuel
Injection?
direct fuel injection that looks like a carb? You know what I'm talking about? That.
Yeah, if you want to spend like $1,200. These carbs look kind of complicated. They've never opened one up. I don't know if it's any good or not.
Is this like a Studebaker specific, or they're kind of general?
No,
like,
they ran them. They ran them on Mopars, on GM products. I don't know exactly what model this is. This is like a WFCB, I think, or SB, WFSB or WFCB Carter, and they ran them on just about everything.
It looks like a misty morning at Iowa or something.
It's got a little tiny like spring clip on it, and it's really hard. This little tiny clip.
Ooh. Did Ernie make these? Or that nice. That's nice.
So some modification will be required, but these ones line up pretty good right here. And we'll need to make sure this all fits good before we send it off to Graham to have him do the upholstery.
Yeah.
So for fine tuning,
It's what's required. We'll make it work.
Let's start modifying door parts so we can get those sent out to Graham. Start wiring, lights, make sure everything works. Figure out what else we need, get the wheels back on. We're ordering new rims for it. I think wheels for an 89 to like 94 F2 and 350. I think they'll slide right on, so we'll get a set of those top rims and tires on order.
Perfect.
We'll be able to drive this thing for a while.
I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped. I know CJ's tired, but
It's been a long, how long have we had this thing? Like a month now?
Something like that.
A month? We're still early on here and got a long ways to go, but
Yep. Just keep on trucking. What we got here?
freshly riveted brake shoes.
Dude, nice.
Repainted, restored.
Is that copper in there?
Yeah, the copper rivets, brake shoe rivets.
It's like Christmas. That CJB gray edge. Remember when they were all separated and stuff? We don't want it separated. Nice.
You know, you see how well the engine cleans up, and then we'll decide. Because if you just paint the valve covers, it looks gaudy, it looks tacky.
Yeah.
But if you paint the intake, the valley cover, the engine valley, you know, the water pump housing and the water pump, you know, that's one thing. But this one, it's gonna be a tough sell. We may just clean them up and see how well and we may fake it to make it look a little. Maybe we'll find some paint and we may fake it up a little bit.
Fake it till you make it. Are you getting the hosage off?
Yep. And then we'll
Lower red hose.
and some freaking bonehead. Whenever you put these things on, don't put the hose clamp so you can't put a screwdriver on it. Okay? Face it up and down so you can just go.
Yeah, help the next guy's gonna work on it.
Now I gotta use the stubby and it's probably super corroded.
Yep.
Don't mind the shop dogs gallivanting around.
Gotta keep the peeping toms away.
Yeah.
You gotta subscribe and watch on YouTube. You can't just walk in.
You can't
here.
just walk in here. Okay? We're close to the public.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Good thing we're replacing these because they're.
Oh, look, I don't know if you can notice, but I think there's a rip in there.
I looked for molded radiator hoses and it seems like the only thing that comes up for these trucks is these hoses. I'm not a big fan of the flex hose, but I really don't see any molded hoses. I'm sure we could find something that works, but then I have to buy 19 freaking radiator hoses and take them all back. And then, believe it or not, there's no residual, but there's little springs that are usually inside of here. This one doesn't have a spring in it, so.
Looks like a colonoscopy video.
If you got something that's been off the road, just change the rubber stuff. We're gonna change all these heater hoses because that's what it's gonna look like. It's all cracked right there. And, you know, this is just like somebody's put garden hose or something on here. That's what it looks like. But, you know, you're just asking for it to leak. Nice. Boom. These are crusty. When we get it outside, we'll probably flush the block out with a garden hose as best we can. Just let everything run out as best we can because I'm sure there's a bunch of loose rust running around in here.
Man. Watch yourself. That's how you get bloody knuckles, kids.
Oh, there goes the hose clamp in the pan. But the coolant actually that's still in it actually looks pretty good. So that makes me believe it's not terrible inside of there. Well, that hose clamp's too short. All stainless high gear. Ideal hose clamps. Good hose clamps. If we were British, if this car was British, it'd be Jubilee clips. Oh yeah, she looks good in there. Yeah, we're definitely gonna want to flush this out. Ooh. Plumb full of crap. That's pretty rotted right there. So we'll probably have to look for a new valve for this, which seems to be not so common because I've already looked for these things. So maybe there's a number and I can. Oh yeah, she's stuck. Ugh. Yeah, she's seized. We'll have to get one of those on order too.
So we're attacking the water pump.
It was leaking, so I'm sure the seal's bad. Somebody's been in here because it's been RTV'd already, so. Looks like it was definitely leaking out of the front seal there. Oh, see right out of the weep hole?
Uh-huh.
See, it looks covered in grime. That's where it was leaking. So this front seal had failed, and then there's another seal on the outside with a bearing. That's all there is to a Studebaker water pump, though. Got a nice big housing, but this is
things like of a tank.
Yeah, I mean it's nice because this is all you have to replace when you do a water pump.
Yeah,
that's it. We'll get the surface cleaned up, and then we'll stick the new pump on there. A lot of these old hose clamps are better than new junk ones.
Yep.
These American made. See? Look at that. Now I can just put my screwdriver on there.
You can access it. It's accessible. It's visible.
Fuel filters apparently have a flow. I don't know if it actually makes a difference or not. 2 carb, so we'll follow the instructions. We're gonna run one right before the carb here. We're gonna run one before the fuel pump. It's definitely a good idea to put one before the pump, especially if you have a rotary pump, because the tolerances are very tiny on a rotary pump. Diaphragm pumps, I don't think it matters quite as much, but now we'll cut a bigger line that feeds down to the bottom. So it's time to send Buck down on the hole again and attach this line, because it's time for him to start putting in his fair share around here, okay? Us rich car mechanics, we can't do it all by ourselves. It's time for him to pay his fair share.
Fine.
We're gonna disconnect right here. I'll throw this in the trash. And I'm gonna leave this fuel pump intact right now just because it's sitting there. As you can see, our transmission has a few leaks. What's nice is it doesn't look like the rear seal is leaking. It looks like just the covers are leaking. And when I pull the inspection cover off the top, that'll help tell us some stories too. But this is like covered in some sort of freaking like coating.
Huh.
Undercoat. Weird. That ain't grease or whatever. It's like this undercoating stuff. It's a humongous transmission for a pickup truck, but you know, I think this transmission, if memory serves me correctly, was a big truck transmission, and they just wanted to offer another, heavy duty transmission that had overdrive. So they put this big ass 5-speed in it.
While we're down here, I saw this part is cleaner than the rest. You got the starter rebuilt?
Rebuilt.
Nice.
Van's electrical systems in Indianapolis. We've sent them several things at work. They've been great. The turnaround on that thing was like a day. Not terribly expensive. So now, we'll run some brake clean. We'll take this line off too while we're here. Run some brake clean through the fuel lines, blow them out with some air.
What's that little end there? Does
it look pretty clear coming out there?
Yeah, it's pretty good now.
3rd time's a charm.
There you go. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready and go. Nice.
I'm gonna blow a freaking sending unit apart. Just a little bit farther away.
Oh, dude, that's a nice snap. Look at this thing, man. You can take a thumb off in a second.
Carbon freight, I think.
Nice.
For now, we're just gonna leave that in place, and then
Got another filter.
we're gonna put a filter in here, which, as you can see, the current setup not gonna work great. So we'll probably move the new pump down farther, down to like here. So we can put this trim about yay much. And hopefully the fuel pump's in tomorrow, but tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so probably gotta do something with my darling wife.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say your faithful coworker, but whatever.
For us, we celebrate every day.
That's right.
Basically, this thing should be ready. I haven't even checked where exactly this is drawing power from. I have no idea.
Looks like
I'm sure it's in this bundle somewhere. Somebody has put about 1,300 rolls of electrical tape on this wiring harness.
that's how you make sure all the powers stay in it.
That's probably not going to be great because you can hear it crinkling. So we may need to cut open a slice of that and see what it's looking like in there. Not to worry. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. Alright, so finally we're off to assembling back brakes. Sure, there's a slot down here to adjust this. Make sure this wheel is in line with the window there. All the brakes have been put back together. I'm still probably going to need maybe one click to tighten this up. And so I snugged, there's 2 nuts here. And this retaining washer. So there's this nut back here. I snugged it up. There's a little keyway that this rides on, and it's not perfectly in the middle. So it may fit better either this way or this way. So we'll see how well everything fits. This side fits. Looks like it fits a little bit better on this side, so we'll roll this one over. So with these Danas, I guess the oil is what lubes the bearings, the gear oil. So what I did was just gave them a loose, just a quick pack, so there's not a ton, and I guess the oil will wash away the remainder of the grease once it starts moving. But I've drained the diff out in this, so it's going to take a while to get oil back circulating through it. So I think the grease is the way to go when you're doing full on service. Hopefully the last we see of it. Just starting to touch the brake shoes, so we may leave that one alone, but the other side, which I've already assembled, we'll probably have to do that. So now it's time to go ahead and get the axle in. So just clean all this up with some brake clean real quick, wipe it down, and we're just gonna RTV these back together. So on the axle. It's gonna be a long night of this. Just kidding, it'll only take a few minutes, but basically I'll just go through, do this to all of them, and then I like to go back, because these always have a tendency to get real air bubbly and like never pull a good solid stream. So normally I just do a quick couple of, basically 2 times the old-fashioned way with somebody else, with a friend or whatever. So I'll get Buck to come over tomorrow and we'll finish off the bleed. And so on today's list of things I want to get accomplished but probably won't, here's the haul. belt, antifreeze. I do have a new line still coming for the upper radiator, so I'm not changing that just yet. But valve cover gaskets, put the fan, the pulleys back on, spark plugs, maybe have to rebuild the carb, new coil, new fuel pump, service the transmission, service the diff, change the oil, install the filler neck back on, do a final bleed of the brakes, and hopefully that'll get us to where we can drive this thing today. So gotta be a productive day. Hopefully it gets done, because I really want to get this thing out of here so I can pull it out, drive it under its own power, make sure the drivetrain feels good, and clean the garage, because it's a mess in here. So reckon we'll get to it. In case you were wondering what a bad coil looks like, this is it. Now, because this truck uses a ballast resistor, you have to make sure you get the coil without internal resistor.
Dude, that looks sweet.
I really want to get it outside so we can wash it. So there is a reason I'm using really cheap oil. It doesn't have a filter, so we gotta run non-detergent in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. This thing doesn't have a filter.
We're asking for trouble. Well, that's nice and thick.
Yeah, it was in like molasses.
So we're gonna start farthest away. So back right, back left, front right, front left. All right, pump up. Hold it.
Yep. We're about half full. So just top it off?
Yep. And then just set the cap down on top of it, just because when you pump it, it'll squirt out at you. Put a bunch of air in that one.
It's quarter down. I'll just top her off.
Yeah, just top it off. That's probably good. That looks really good. Perfect, no bubbles.
We got a pedal. It's diff juice time.
Yep. Nope. Second drawer down. Nope. No. Other one.
This one?
Other box. Second drawer down. One up from there.
Oh,
there's a catch all the way on the right
there
side.
we go.
I'm gonna need a razor blade.
So it basically needs to be full until it starts coming out. Is that kind of what the general rule of thumb is? I did that on my motorcycle.
Oh, behave.
That was cool.
That almost lawn darted into my eyeball.
Safety squints.
Well, I might have to clean cream off.
So that's
Garbage.
garbage.
It's garbage.
Where's the new one?
I've used these pumps on. This one's for 12 volt, but I've used basically the same pump that they have for 6 volts. A bunch of my old cars, and they seem to work great. Haven't had any problems out of them. Throw an extra one in the glove box and wire it in a way it's very easily removable. You just on the side of the road throw a new one in, because I've had that happen with no cell phone.
Oh, that's nice. I'm just going to use that rust hole real quick to run some wires through. It's gas time. Just feeding the baby. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the back. Oh, gas tank. It's no bueno. It's got a hairline crack in it.
Small pinhole or something.
Need a bucket.
Need a gas tank.
Stealing a toggle switch.
Yeah, don't mind my hot rod. So here we are.
Okay, everybody quiet.
Alright,
Ooh, we got power.
fuel pump installed. Okay. Good enough to get a start.
It's got stuff on it now. We need a little bit more.
Show you this what I did.
Toggle switch.
Ready?
Yep.
Pump on.
Listen to that freaking idle. It's almost like we know what we're freaking doing, dude.
Jackpot, baby.
Idling like a champ. Look at that. Oh, we got a little engagement.
Definitely got some valve train chatter. What's your oil pressure look like? 60 psi, oil pressure.
That's alright.
All set. There you go. Nice. Valve train sliding down for sure. I think it's gonna need a valve adjustment though. Hello, doctor.
Uh-oh. 911. What's your emergency?
We got a lifter tab.
We have a tappy tap.
Put it right here.
Yeah.